Hello everyone and welcome to PlumesCast. My name is Seth, aka PhantasmaPlumes, and I'm coming to you pre-recorded from the game room. As always, I thank you for tuning in today. Now, I know what you're thinking, alright? You're probably around the lines of, Seth, it's Monday, why am I getting a notification that PlumesCast has a new episode? Because I'm totally subscribed to it on Spotify, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast, and I'm super excited to be seeing it on YouTube in my notification feed there. You know, you have very specific thoughts, and, I appreciate it. I really do. But no, this is two things. Alright, first off, this is entirely off the cuff, except for my little intro and ending. But this is in two things. One is, I wanted to advertise that Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, the 22nd, is going to be Stream's second anniversary. And I want to do something big for it. I wanted to show that, hey, I'm busting my ass here to make you guys feel as appreciated as I feel thankful. And I thought, I would go through and start building out all these different things, and I had a whole bunch of ideas that I wanted to get done in this last month. And unfortunately, a bunch of things came up at work, and all those plans kind of got scrapped. And instead of, sitting here and feeling down on myself, I, continued to do what I could do. And now that I'm sitting here at a brand new setup, there's still so much stuff we have to do for this, but I've got, I don't want to tell y'all. Well, you haven't seen it. By the time you guys get this podcast, it'll be 2:00, and stream won't be for another, 5-6 hours. Which, by the way, heads up, I'll probably be talking about this during stream, but I'm thinking about moving stream hours up from 8 to 10 to 7 to 9, just so that way, before, I was just getting home ungodly late, and I would never have time to, myself, to relax. And nowadays, I get home much, much earlier, so I want to stream much, much earlier. Plus, sometimes I need to go get Juju from work, and I want to be able to, make sure stream's said and done, and then hop in the car, go get my sweet, sweet girlfriend, and come back and relax with her. How that's going to impact cooking streams is something that we're still trying to figure out. I think we have a decent working idea, but we'll talk about it more, because I gotta talk with her about it some more too. But anyway, no, I wanted to sit here just for a little while. This is a bonus stream. Bonus podcast. This isn't, I'm not counting this as next week's podcast or anything like that. I just wanted to sit down and talk with y'all, because this is my first recording from the new setup. This is, after hours of blood, sweat, and tears from picking up and moving to having this new awesome thing that I'm able to have because of y'all. It's humbling. It's amazing. It makes me so incredibly grateful. So I hope you'll allow me to take, for however amount of time this podcast goes for, to sit and thank you. It's because of all of you that, I continue to have these ambitions to continuously want to get better, to drive, for stronger content, so that way, our little family can kind of grow. I don't want it to grow a whole bunch, but I do want to be able to say, hey, this is a community that I built, and I am still so amazingly proud of the little group we have. I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for each and every one of you. You guys make these moments where I can sit and look at all the work I've done in honor of y'all really stand out. It makes me proud to have picked up the mic 2 years ago. Like, this by no means is the 2-year podcast. I imagine I will be able to talk for like maybe 15, 20 minutes about this. And then, I want to go do the 2-year anniversary stream and have like the questions you guys want answered and just go over all of it on, podcast. But I wanted to sit here and I wanted to just thank you guys. Like, I know I've said thank you hundreds of times before, but I really do appreciate that you guys allow me the creative freedom that you do, and you choose to spend your time with me. Like, if you told me 2 years ago, when I first started streaming, that I would go out and jump through all these different hoops that I have, and mind you, it's not just me. Like, Juju has been amazingly helpful in motivating in all this, and she wants to get involved with it, and I can't be more thankful to have somebody like that, and to have you guys backing me up. Like, I'm going to sound incredibly sappy when I say this, but I cherish our family. Like, I know, if I get to bigger status, that I won't be able to relate as easily to people, but I still want to keep making you guys proud, and I want to keep working hard, and I want to, devote some of my time to this, because I love being able to come home and make you guys smile. Like, the first thing I thought about when I was originally starting starting stream all that time ago was, I want to make people smile. I want to be the reason that somebody comes home after a long day and just tosses their stuff aside and sits back in their chair and pops open one of my videos or one of my streams or one of my podcasts and just relaxes for a minute. Because you guys do that for me. Like, I have had the incredible blessing of being able to host and do all this stuff for you and branch out to so many different creative endeavors that I never would have done if it weren't for you guys backing me up. Like, I get to come home after a hard day of like programming and doing system admin shit. Like, I can't go into detail about the stuff that happened at work that threw everything, that I had planned all awry, and I'm going to end up having to do it into this month and, just slowly roll things out. But, like, I also sit here hang on, let me finish this thought first, and then I'll circle back to what I was about to say. But I can't tell you what all happened, but I can tell you that, sitting here in this, new home, that it felt kind of empty. When Juju's at work and I'm just here by myself, like, I miss having the ability to just come and talk to y'all because I was busy, I was working late, and now that I get to say hello again, I'm so incredibly excited, and I want to continue to do this for a long time. I love being able to connect with you guys, even if, it's in different ways, even if some of y'all only listen to the PlumesCast, even if some of y'all only watch streams. Like, I love that I've been able to, be something that you guys can look forward to, because you guys absolutely are something I look forward to at the end of the day. But to circle back around to, what I was getting ready to say, like, I did have a bunch of ideas that I wanted to have rolled out by the time, we started stream again. And it bugs me to the highest level that work has kind of kicked my ass to the point that I can't. But I've also learned during this 3-month break, which, again, thank you for allowing me to have that. Like, I know you guys could have easily picked up, left the server, found different streamers, found different, groups of friends and all to hang out with. But some of y'all actually stuck around, and some of y'all actually talk to me to this day. Like, shout out to, Mehers and Remu, and occasionally Jello. Jello comes by and says hello. I really and genuinely love those moments where we can just talk. Like, I dreaded the thought that I would come back after this 3-month period and nobody would be there. And I can't say thank you enough for allowing me, like, the break, because it allowed me to grow in so many different ways. Like, I before would have beaten the shit out of myself for not being able to get all this different, like all the emotes done, not having the office to the way I wanted it yet. I've learned that it's okay. I can slowly roll things out. I don't have to have all the answers off the rip, and it's okay because I know I will get to that point when the time comes, when I have the ability, when I have, when the stars align, so to speak. And when they do align, I hope, when I premiere Dabbing Seth or, Crying Seth or whatever BS emotion or emoticon I end up making, I really hope you guys will see it and you'll laugh and you'll have fun with it. And then, we go through the cycle again. I figure out which one you guys want me to make, and we go and make it. But honestly, I just am so incredibly thankful that you guys have allowed me this time, that we're, from what I've seen, you guys are excited. You guys are really, happy that I'm coming back. And I have kind of a weird favor, okay? I don't know entirely what I'm going to stream on Wednesday. I'm still deciding things, obviously, and of course I'm getting way too deep into my emotions now, because I'm sure you could hear my pitch start to waver a little bit as I'm trying to keep, those happy tears from bubbling up. Especially in something recorded like this. Like, fuck, this is going on Spotify and Google Podcast and Apple Podcasts. Like, I don't want the world hearing, getting a recording of me crying. That's lame. But I do have a request. And that's, I want to know from you guys what you want to know about, across the 2-year journey. What have I learned? What have I, experienced? The couple of conventions that I went to, network, what was that like? I have so many different stories to tell, but I can't always think of them off the top because I have so many other things going around in this head of mine. And I genuinely want to know what things you guys are curious about. And then in return, if I tell you these stories, I want to know what your favorite moment from stream was. I want to talk about, some of the memories. I'm going to be entirely truthful in this, and this is going to hurt a little bit to admit. But if I had my way, and everything aligned the way I wanted it to, I wanted to take some time to basically make a video of, all the clips that I'd saved and all the clips from YouTube, and just kind of put them all together to generic, my heart will go on music as I'm screaming in the background. And just to say thank you for 2 years. There was also, Juju and I had planned it, at least to some degree, where I would do advertisements for the stream before stream started. And again, I am so apologetic that I couldn't get the time to do all the extra things for stream that I wanted to do to really prove that, yes, I'm coming back and I'm super like excited. Here's some new life. Here's some new energy. Here's like these new emotes, and here's this new OBS. Like, I am still embarrassed to admit this, but I have not made the change all the way from Streamlabs OBS to just, vanilla OBS, which annoys the hell out of me because I know OBS is the better platform. But at the same time, when I was trying to work on it, the alert box just completely shat the bed. So I was just like, all right, well, that's something else I got to work on. And like, I will say this too, and this will be something that I talk about in like the moving streams and all, or podcasts and all. But I spent hours yesterday doing testing different configurations as far as my network equipment goes, so that way I could get like this new router up and going and get my Powerline Ethernet adapters working the way they needed to. Like, it took hours of me, toying around with stuff to get to the speeds where I'm at now. It's nowhere near as where it should be, but I'm so thankful to say, like, oh, I have 250 MPS upload. Like, woo, I will have a really clean stream. My download isn't great, but hey, let's get this fiber working, But anyway, I could ramble on about this a lot longer, and I will. This upcoming podcast is going to be about the 2-year anniversary. I'm definitely going to pull aside some things that I want to talk about, but I also want to know what you guys want to talk about and what things you want touched upon during the podcast. And, I will also say this, like, if you guys have ideas for future podcasts, by all means, hit me with them. I still have the ones from before I took the break, like, what will the future look like? Me taking on Genshin and the wild west of bowling alleys, retro Wii games, being happy with what you have. And then I had, like, a bunch of other stuff that I wanted to touch in, like, the joys of moving. There's a podcast about packing everything and reflecting on, the old apartment and where a lot of y'all first met me. The actual moving adventures, trying to get all this shit over here and then finding out that, like, a bunch of shit was broken. Like, we had a lot of fun, but oh my god, it was exhausting. And then, the final cleanup and being here in this new location and being able to build out, like, this huge ass thing and, exploring life with somebody else by my side. And I also want, like, again, next week's gonna be year 2 in review of PhantasmaPlumes. During the past 3 months, I went through an idol game, like, binge, and I'm not talking about, like, the dancing idols, no, I'm talking about IDLE, the games that play themselves. I went through so many of those that were just horny clickbait adventures. Because you know what? I'll say it on podcast. You can quote me on this. I could be a horny bastard at times. And, I sat there and I just watched the screen and be like, my numbers are going up. Yay. The serotonin from this. Yay. My bank account. Oh no. And then I wanted to talk about, like, the business conference I went to. And lastly, like, getting into IT, the do's and don'ts. Because I've had a lot of conversations here recently with people who are thinking about getting into IT. And people who have, after the pandemic, are thinking about getting out of IT because of, hey, we don't exactly get treated the best at times. And it really depends on the people you work with. But anyway, that's a whole bunch of stories for another time, and I, again, am just super excited and super thankful that you guys have allowed me the opportunity to, do this. So, I think I've said my piece for now, and I feel a little bit better now having, given y'all, like, a 30-minute podcast on Sunday, like, hey, here's an extra 20 minutes to get us to what we're usually at. But I really do want to say, guys, like, again, thank you so, so very much for allowing me to do what I do. I am here to make you guys laugh. I'm here to make you guys smile. And I just want y'all to know you guys absolutely do the same for me. So, again, one last time, if you have things you want me to talk about during Wednesday's 2-year anniversary stream, or you want them reserved for podcast and saved into that, please let me know. And I will gladly, and tell me like your favorite moments of tell me your favorite moments of podcast, and tell me, your favorite moments of stream, so we can reminisce together. And, let's make year 3 one of the best ones yet, because I really do. I really feel as though this is a new chapter that I'm just personally super excited to go on with y'all. But anyway, that is about all she said. I have to get cooking. It's starting to get late, and I promised my darling I would make her the salmon recipe that I've been sitting on for a minute. So remember, you can find me in the night skies across different platforms. You've got PhantasmaPlumes on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, and you can listen to PlumesCast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, and soon to be YouTube. And you can also email the show directly by sending it to PlumesCast@gmail.com. That email again is PlumesCast, PLUMESCAST @gmail.com. Thank you all so much for listening in, and as always, I'll talk to you again from the stars very soon. Until next time, everyone, bye-bye!